Recorded live on location at the Generation X Comics and Games Studios, it's Trade Paper Hacks, episode 21, with your hosts, Mark and Alex.
Thank you, announcer boy. Does he sound a little upset to you?
He sounded a little down.
So, turns out he's upset because he got kicked out of his one-man band. A lot of inner turmoil going on there.
Sounds like it.
But before he ran off in a fit of tears, and he so kindly told you that you are watching and listening to Trade Paper Hacks, and my name is Alex Lee, and I'm joined by my co-patriot in comic books, Mark Thompson.
Hello.
And we are recorded live at Generation X Comics and Games Studios over here in Bedford, Texas.
Southeast corner of Harwood and 121, right next to Taco Bell.
Right next. Actually, I think the Taco Bell is closing.
There's some talk it's closing. There's another one being built like 500 feet away from it.
Yeah, but in case you're really worried about it, there is the old fake meat petition currently online to get that location to stay. So we have something to say at the beginning of every episode and piss off my wife.
Is that like oldfakemeat.com?
That is actually.
Please do not go to that website. Please do not go to that website.
Put a link right here.
Yeah.
All right, so you might have heard him just now, but we are joined, as we are always, by tech booth himself, Jason Dyer.
What are you, some kind of butt ventriloquist?
Say hi, Jason.
Hi, Tech Booth.
I did screw that up, but that's okay. We don't have time to start over. All right, tonight we got a couple of things to talk about. We're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about some canceling books.
Yeah, Marvel's copying DC.
Yep.
Surprise! But first, we absolutely have to dive into this Batgirl controversy that's been going all over the internet, blowing it up like a Kim K situation. I referenced
he went
whore.
Damn whores.
Yeah. Are you about to lose the tech booth?
Come on. I'm remembering these. I'm remembering you saying, I'm going to have to tread lightly.
We open with that. Yeah, good job, Alex.
Whores.
She's a whore. You're famous for fucking on tape. And then marrying Kanye.
Don't be jello, bro.
I wish I had her money.
No kidding.
And her ass. I flat as a board back here. Okay, kind of recap people on this Batgirl issue.
So this kind of started going down last Sunday when we were recording. We didn't know anything about it till the next day.
Because we were busy.
Yeah, we were doing things.
Stuff.
Anyway, so let's see. What month is that coming up in? June, I believe?
Upcoming Batgirl issue.
Well, there's upcoming variants. DC's been doing the variants. They got the movie posters this month. They did the Harley Quinns. Yeah, the movie posters are awesome.
Oh, man, I'm loving those.
Awesome. They've been doing these variants. Well, they're coming up 75th anniversary of the character of the Joker. Mm-hmm. So they're doing a month of Joker variants coming up. So Joker's in all these different settings and with the characters on their covers and such, kind of like they did with the Harley Quinn and Flash and Batman and all that. Well, they come to the Batgirl one.
Batgirl.
It was drawn by a gentleman by the name of
Raphael Albuquerque.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Raphael Albuquerque drew a picture referencing The Killing Joke.
This one.
An Alan Moore story. Came back in the late 80s?
88. 88. Yeah, I think it's
I think it was 88. Referencing this story with his drawing. This piece of artwork, which we'll try and get Jason to snap a little...
It'll be there.
It's all over the internet.
Alex got it right. It was 1988.
Good job, Alex.
Oh, are you talking about the picture of the cover? The cover that's going to go right there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, hopefully that panned out.
So take a look at this. It references The Killing Joke, which really got people up in arms about it.
So, okay, if you've already looked at it, if you aren't able to look at it, what's happening is the Joker is sitting there in the outfit he was wearing in The Killing Joke. Which
was a really cool outfit.
Which we'll recap here in a hot second. And he's got Batgirl Barbara Gordon off to his left. It's on the right-hand side of the page. And he's being very very creepy with her. Now, what happened in The Killing Joke, and I know we weren't going to plan on diving into this too quickly.
But I think he needs to explain what the picture is. It needs to explain.
So, the brief synopsis of The Killing Joke is Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, daughter of Jim Gordon. Mm-hmm. Joker knocks on her apartment door. She opens it. He shoots her through the gut, outer spine, crippling her for the next 20 years of real life, or of our actual lives, and however many in continuity years.
Longer than that, yeah.
88 to 2009.
Yeah.
So, actually 2010.
I didn't realize that it was that long.
It was over
it was
20
that
years.
long.
Over 20 years.
That Oracle was a huge part of the DC universe for a long time.
And we'll touch on that here in a second. So she is, at this point, incapacitated. Joker scoops her up, takes her with him back to this carnival that he's taken over, has his goons strip her naked, takes photos of her, and then later shows those photos to Jim Gordon, all in an effort to make him go crazy, so the Joker can prove to Batman that all it takes is one bad day to make a good man insane. And it's been fantastic. You know, it's always been renowned as the ultimate Joker origin story.
It is a very Joker-centric story, and it delves deeper into his character than most other places have. I think Scott Snyder right now is delving as deep as anybody else has.
Right, and that's a bold move.
It is very bold.
Okay, so people are really upset because of the whole nudity thing in the Killing Joke, which I think people are still accepting as just kind of that's the Joker being evil as all can be. But now that they're referencing it on a cover, it's making people uncomfortable. They say it's kind of rapey. That's a crappy term to use.
This specific cover?
Yeah.
This cover. But the Killing Joke has been on the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund as a banned book because of the sexualized nature of the attack that the Joker does to Batgirl.
Sexualized. Now, Alan Moore, the original author, has come out and said, I think since it got banned, I don't think it had anything to do with the relation of this cover.
No, that was a long
He
time
said
ago.
that sexual assault was never, wasn't what he had the Joker intended to do. He did it just because it was a effed up thing to do, not because he wanted to rape Barbara Gordon. Not that he actually did that. There was, where it was implied, he did not mean for it to be that way. So
yeah, he was going for more of the exposed and you have no defense and anything like that, which can be construed to that very easily, construed to that rape element.
And let's go ahead and point out that even if an author intends for something to be that, it comes across a certain way, and what the author intended only matters to a certain amount.
Right. Because you can do something intending one way and it's going to be perceived as something else. That happens.
Okay,
and we're not. How should we put that? We're not defending Alan Moore for doing his book this way.
No, okay. This is where we're going to split on opinions. But let's go ahead and kind of wrap it back. Let's kind of finish the story on what's actually going on.
Okay, so
who had it pulled and all that stuff.
So there was a lot of negative online comments because they released all the pictures of all the covers like they do several months early. They always do it just so people have an idea what's coming up. And a lot of people were very upset by the cover, which, it can be an upsetting cover. I can completely understand how that could happen.
There is a ton of emotion in this cover.
Batgirl's face is very emotional.
She is horrified and vulnerable, and it's very well drawn because it's really hard to have characters have emotion on a page. Like that's a sign of a great artist. Is if you can make somebody act, if you can make a character act like they're intended to be in the moment, that's some skill. Now, this was a very vulnerable, scared Barbara Gordon. And a lot of people online felt that wasn't an accurate representation of how that character should be portrayed.
Correct. And understandable. I can totally see that point of it. So there was a lot of people saying this cover should not come out. Well, then there's always going to be that other side of people saying, well, this is a piece of art. Don't do this to the artist and shut them down. And they were very passionate about having this cover come out.
Yeah, if you're curious about taking a look at some of the commentary on that, the best place to find it is on Twitter, looking at the trending hashtag change the cover, because there are pros and cons that are on that trending hashtag for both sides of it. You'll see that people saying how dare DC change the cover and sacrifice art, et cetera, but you'll also see people explaining their perspective that it wasn't appropriate. So
yeah, excellent point.
Yeah, Tech Booth, way to be on the social networks.
Congratulations to Jason, everyone.
Good job.
Good job, Tech Booth. But no, and so when this came up, it got heated. The Twitter got heated, very heated about this.
It was a hot Twitter.
Yeah.
You might say
Stay on point. Stay on point. Stay on point.
I gotta say here, yeah. So it got very upsetting. So Mr. Albuquerque released a statement and made a request to DC to pull the cover.
Yes.
Because of both sides, basically, but it was more towards the people that were saying pull the cover were the ones getting a little bit more harassed than the other way. It wasn't people saying to pull the cover and then causing problems. It was the people defending the cover and wanting the cover to be there.
Right.
So he put out a statement, and I think it's a fantastic statement. He said, "My Batgirl variant cover artwork was designed to pay homage to a comic that I admire."
Do you want me to read this?
Shut up. And I know is a favorite among many readers. The Killing Joke is part of Batgirl's canon, and artistically, I couldn't avoid portraying the traumatic relationship between Barbara Gordon and the Joker. For me, it was just a creepy cover that brought up something of the character's past that I was able to interpret artistically. But it has become clear that for others, it touched a very important nerve. I respect these opinions despite whether the discussion is right or wrong. No opinion should be discredited. My intention was never to hurt or upset anyone through my art. For that reason, I've recommended to DC that the variant cover be pulled. I'm incredibly pleased that DC is listening to my concerns and will not be publishing the art in June.
Which a lot of people are upset about, but that's an eloquent way to put, walk that middle line and make the safest decision.
Make a decision because there's no reason to upset somebody with this cover.
Okay, so now let's kind of talk our opinions of this.
Okay, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Because, okay, before we get into our opinions, let's go ahead, and this is not a black and white scenario. It's obviously got a middle ground. In a black and white scenario, us at Trade Paper Hacks all agree that we don't support rape culture. We don't support any sort of imagery that goes that direction. We don't want to support something that awful and that horrible. Now, let's go ahead and kind of express how we feel.
Because, okay, I take the stand. I think pulling it was a good idea. And I feel that the cover, while the art is very well done, was not appropriate for the book.
So it's not appropriate for the current book, which is the Batgirl of Burnside, very strong, forward-thinking woman book, or women-focused book. Wow, that came out weird. Women-focused book.
Because it's honestly, the audience they're going for is that, 16 to 18 to 22-year-old girl coming out of high school, going into college, catching that demographic.
Okay, so that's what it is. Now, I have a problem with it. I don't think that... I think it's okay. Ultimate good decision was made because it doesn't fit the editorial direction of the book going forward. That's where I'm going to leave that now. I have a problem with it because it's a variant cover, which doesn't have to tie in lines with how the editorial is going forward. B, editorial or variant covers often don't go with the direction things are supposed to be going in the editorial stuff. Now, if you go back and you look at the Andy Kubert covers of some of the recent Batman Endgame arcs with the Joker on it, has like Jason Todd being killed. It has the death of the family imagery. None of that, great covers, but it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on in the book currently.
You've got Batman tied to the chair with the Joker hanging the Joker's face.
You've got some great covers, but the thing is that they don't have anything to do with the book. And if it's just an artistic cover, go ahead and just let it be out there. I don't think I have a couple problems with the people being upset about it and then it being a response to that. My main problem with it is that a lot of the people complaining in any scenario in which people complain probably weren't the ones buying the book. They saw something online and they had a problem with it. They weren't buying the book before. They weren't going to buy it after. But they had this opinion that changed the way business is done. I understand. Would you like to mute your phone? Or is that somebody calling to complain about my opinion?
I don't know, man. I turned this thing off. And
it's okay. So it doesn't go that way editorially. I'm okay with that. I think people, if people aren't buying the book, it's not totally unlike voting, where you hear people complain, you don't vote, you don't get to complain, which is BS, by the way. But if you don't buy the book, you really shouldn't cater to the decisions of people who are going to buy the book, or DC shouldn't make business decisions based on losing people that already weren't going to be part of the purchase group.
Well, I'll Since I'm not an active DC fan, I don't collect these books, etc. Like I said, I have such a lack of knowledge on all that stuff. The first time I heard anything about the story, I was thinking, well, it doesn't seem so bad.
You've never read Killing Joke, right?
No, but I had seen this artwork before. I've never read Killing Joke.
Okay.
I've never read it, but I've seen this cover. I know that's a super villainous Joker. Like, I get that, right?
Right.
I knew about Oracle's origins from that story. And that's about where it ended. I didn't know about any of the other stuff that happened in there. But that cover just looks like a really messed up Joker doing, like, scaring the crap out of somebody who's been shot and paralyzed for 2 decades.
Right.
And drawing the Joker face on her face. Like, I didn't see anything that was overtly sexual or sexist about that.
She's afraid. A lot of the people online are saying, oh, she's afraid because he's about to rape her, which they have no grounds in which to make that claim.
Yeah, there's no grounds to make that claim to the... I think what started is somebody who had read the book and took it as that, saw this cover and went, that's exactly what they're going after. Which it's not. Anybody, Batman, it was tied up by the Joker in that fashion, would be scared.
Right.
Like,
because
people don't understand. The Joker is scary.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, well, they think the Tim Burton stuff, or they think Cesar Romero's.
Yeah.
And even if you got to, there were people... Actually, you know what? This is a great point. The actor or the characters in The Dark Knight that were being videotaped by the Joker were in fear because the Joker's scary. And now, granted, Batgirl's supposed to be a hero and supposed to be a strong symbol, but it's okay to show some vulnerability.
I mean, you have to.
You
That's
have
part
to.
Of storytelling.
Yeah. You have to show some real vulnerability to actually show something being conquered.
So, in regards to I guess my opinion on pulling it or not pulling it, I'm happy to hear that it came down to the artist's decision.
Yes.
And for me, that's kind of where it ends. If that guy was getting some negative vibe and he didn't want anything, et cetera, his reaning is enough to be like, okay, so they pulled it, no big deal. I'm not going to get, I don't call it censorship. I'm not upset about it. I don't think it should have gotten this way or that way. But I'm a little curious about this trend of crowds of people just attempting to implement change on some scale through hashtags.
And that happens, and that's social pressure. That's a real problem. I have a real problem with if you constantly behave worrying about how other people are going to perceive you, you're never going to do anything worthwhile because you're going to be fearful of
everything
interpretation.
Yep.
I mean, we did throw a disclaimer on how we aren't supporting rape culture because we're afraid that you're going to hate us, but
right.
I mean, you have to
we still throw a disclaimer, and we're still giving our honest opinions about this too.
Right.
I mean, and you can have the opinion that maybe it's not that bad of a piece of art, but still say I don't support this idea.
And what they don't tell you, a lot of people in those comments. One of the biggest one I saw on Reddit was that you would never see Batman in a position of weakness or Superman, and then somebody posted like 15 covers with that being the case. When
right,
and then they're like, we can't let Batgirl be defined by her failures and past trauma. That's not what makes a great hero. And I'm just sitting there thinking, that's exactly what Batman is.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what makes
a guy
hero.
Who can't get over his parents being murdered 20 years prior. And it defines who he is. It's about overcoming that. Now that's my biggest problem with how this screws up Batgirl's legacy. Not saying the cover is what does it, but it's the DC editorial staff over the last few years. The entire 20 years post-Killing Joke, you had Barbara Gordon in a wheelchair becoming the brains of the operation behind the Batman family.
The know-all, the catch-all, the thing that connects everybody.
Do you remember when the store was doing a display for a museum? Was it a museum locally? And we crafted some poster boards, basically of heroes who had become such because of or despite of a handicap.
And, we had Batgirl on there becoming Oracle because she took this super traumatic event, losing her ability to walk, the horrible things the Joker did to her, trying to break her father, trying to break Batman. She turned that into a positive and became an even better superhero, in my opinion.
Right. She overcame something, and that's what made it impressive. And then that happened for 20-some-odd years, and then all of a sudden...
New 52 comes around, and she's fixed.
Man, and they still haven't touched on that?
She had some surgery in South America is all we really know.
Right. But the thing is, they pulled her out of the wheelchair, and all of a sudden, like, all that momentum that they made on having a disabled person. Now, this is an argument we had 5 years ago when New 52 happened, but all that momentum was gone. And then the book was dark for a little bit. Now it's too light. And you had the Batgirl Burnside with all the social justice, which needs to be represented somewhere. And if you have an install base, Batgirl's perfect for it. And then you had some transphobia conversations that came up a few months ago, and it just can't get any legs. But all of this stems from the New 52 doing more damage to the Batgirl legacy by putting her back in the suit.
Yeah.
And that's going to be 1,000 times more damaging than one damn cover. That's the real problem here.
Yeah.
Is that you have a lot of good Batgirl material, but you have other Batgirls doing it. Barbara Gordon was a much stronger character, overcoming failure and overcoming trauma and overcoming being victimized. And that cover represents the first part of that.
Yeah, that's where it starts and where she becomes stronger.
It's times like this I wish that we could actually interview like a real construct of this character, Barbara Gordon, so that we could pose the question to Barbara Gordon. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
hi.
That's Jennifer Lopez.
Stop that. I'm doing the hand puppet thing. I'm not going to... I almost put the hand puppet under the microphone.
You did.
You don't
It's
need
on
to...
tape.
This is...
No, I'm going to use your microphone.
Yeah, use my microphone. It's fine.
My name is Barbara Gordon. No, that just sounded horrible. I'm not doing that.
Anyway.
That sounded stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a boo for that.
Okay. We're going to wrap this up.
Just
Any final thoughts?
Do not make this a fight about censorship. I've seen that out there. It's not, because the artist is the one making this decision. DC was going to run the cover anyway.
Right.
They were.
Yeah. So the artist made the decision, and in my opinion, I think the right decision was made, but I'm not against the artwork.
And I agree. I think the creator is ultimately up to...
I have a twist for you.
You hold your...
Let
hold
him
your
get his
butt.
opinion out, then you'll twist.
Ultimately comes down to creative decisions and muscle cars outside.
Yeah, muscle
It
cars.
ultimately comes down to creative decisions. The creator is the final say in anything. Now, don't let social opinions, twist the integrity of a creative person. And once you do that, it never stops. And we have to watch that. Maintain your integrity. Do something worthwhile and stick by it. And then that's what defines you as a creative person. At Tech Booth, what the hell's going to fall out of your mouth and ruin my eloquent...
I was going to say, in regards to integrity, right? How would I wonder how the internets will respond when at some point this artwork is picked up for either a poster, a lithograph, some kind of a limited edition release, and what type of monies will be made off of it, if ever.
Yeah.
I mean, because I have to assume that the guy's not just going to retire the artwork. That it's not just going to become an art piece or go into the public domain. It's going to be monetized and distributed in some capacity.
I know people are already looking for a poster to be made.
That's what I mean. So is it a moot point?
I've heard that. I think to put this somewhere, put out a new edition of Killing Joke with that inside of it.
Yeah, somewhere in the back of the book or part of an ultimate collection.
But if somebody actually had an early printed cover copy of this, that thing is worth money. Mm-hmm. But that's up to some person who thinks it's worth buying. That's all it is. Things are worth what people will pay for them. You make a huge stink out of it in the media, it's all of a sudden worth more, and everybody loses.
Yep.
Okay, so when we come back from the break, we are going to talk about... actually, what the hell are we talking about, Mark?
We're going to talk about some of these sales in, what was this past month, February?
February.
We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk a little bit about Marvel axing some titles.
32 of them.
33.
Oh my God!
You can't count!
All right, we'll see you after the break. And we're back! Yay! And here's Mark with the news and numbers.
Numbers and news and things.
Actually, I don't think we have any news, just numbers.
It's slight news. Anyway, numbers.
Okay.
So, February. Comic books were sold in February.
Is it February or February? February?
It's just Feb.
It's February.
Feb.
Yep.
All right, so trade paperbacks that were sold. Number 10 was the Kick-Ass number 3 trade. I'm glad that series is done.
Good, done.
Number 9 was Saga Volume 1. That thing just keeps selling.
Yep.
Cha-ching.
Miss Marvel Volume 1 still selling. Number 8. Number 7 was Walking Dead Hardcover Volume 11. The hardcover basically takes 2 of the trade paperbacks and puts them together.
Cool, whatever.
Oversized, looks really cool.
Find me something thrilling in these numbers.
Number 6, Trees Volume 1. It's
Okay.
a Warren Ellis book. I want to read it. I just haven't yet.
And it's all sold out.
Yep. Number 5 was Chew Volume 9. Chew is an awesome book. Everybody should read Chew.
Which I'm pretty sure is now on TV, and it's being called iZombie.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it. I watched
I did
iZombie.
too. I was inspired by your tweet
By
last
my
night.
twittins?
Yeah, by your twittins.
And honestly, it's undead
Mars.
Veronica Mars. And a little spoiler, not spoiler, a little transparency here. I've never watched like more than like one episode of Veronica Mars in a row. Like I have no idea about storylines, but everything I liked, I genuinely did, and I kind of like this as it stands. I need to go read the book. I'm going to go read the book and see if that's really effed up.
It's very different. They left out a lot of characters.
I told my wife that it was a comic book show that I would not watch, but she would absolutely love. In fact, she told me about that show. This is the first show that Rob Thomas has produced since Veronica Mars. And for the previous, I think, 2-3 months now, they've just been binge watching season after season after season of Veronica Mars at the House.
All like 3 of them.
Yeah, but again and again, trust me on this.
Okay, in the movie?
It's everywhere.
Well, me and my wife watched iZombie together.
Okay.
Oh, bonding experience. She lets you back
Awkward.
in the house.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Still pissed about Red Sonja.
Number 4 was Saga Volume 4. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll read that one.
We're sold out.
Yes, we are. Continually. Number 3, The Fade Out Volume 1. The Fade Out's awesome.
Yeah, Fade Out is awesome.
And
These are some
Rubric-
eclectic books, man. These
Yeah,
aren't
yeah.
like, oh, Batman and...
Have you read Fade Out yet?
No.
You need
Dude,
to. Ed
I'll loan-
Brubaker, Sean Phillips, knock it out of the
I
park.
even have a super crispy number 1 if you want one.
Like to buy off of you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
cool.
All right, we'll talk later.
All right.
That's going to go for a pretty penny. Sex Criminals came in at number 2. Sex Criminals Volume 2.
Oh.
Maybe be a TV
There's
show
a
in the
joke
future?
there? There's a joke there of
Sex Criminals is
Search
number 2?
Criminals number 2? And that's like poop stuff?
That's a bad joke.
Is it bad that I didn't know where you were going with that until you actually said it?
You're a goddamn poop joke. All right.
Number 1 was Superman Earth 1 Volume 3.
Okay, say that again.
Superman Earth 1 Volume 3.
Volume 3.
Superman Earth 1, Volume 3, Chapter B,
So the hardcover.
subsection 7A.
It was
Thou doth not pulleth on Superman's cape.
There you go. Done. That's
So-
all. It's just one page. It's
So-
written in stone.
yeah. What we were saying, eclectic mix. One Marvel book, one DC book, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 Image titles made the top trades.
Wow.
I think that has to do with Image putting out really awesome books right now and having the best price on their trades.
I was going to say,
Like
I think
$10 mark
$10,
is awesome.
yeah.
they really understand the trade market. I think that it's not uncommon for people to get started on one of their stories and then just start picking up the trades, and then they stick that way. They stay that
Absolutely.
way. Image is really good about releasing those, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, and if you go on that website that is... Oh, I censored it. I'm not going to tell you what website does it cheaper.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
that site.
proprietary information. That's not really how that works. Okay, continue.
Anyway,
Let's talk
all right, so let's
single
talk
issues.
comics. Single issues. Number 10 was Justice League 39. The Amazovirus stuff, I don't care.
I tell you, that'll be a cool trade that somebody will pick up. Like, you ever heard any good Justice League stories in New 52? Go read this one.
Yeah. Number 9 was Silk, number 1. The
Which
Spider-Man spinoff.
Only
character.
reason that's a big deal is because there's a number 1 with a female hero, and it's a Batgirl clone.
Yeah,
It's not great.
it was phoned in.
Batgirl.
was.
Go read Batgirl. As much as
How is
much
she a
as we
Batgirl
talked in the last segment about Batgirl books and catering to a creative audience.
yeah, but-
go read the Batgirl Burnside. It's the exact same vibe. That and Spider Woman.
But we'll get to a better book like Silk in a minute.
Oh,
Number 8, Amazing Spider-Man 15, the rewrap from Spider-Verse, the epilogue to Spider-Verse.
which sucked.
Yeah, it didn't do any good either. Darth Vader number 2 came in at 7. It's not a bad book.
Sorry.
So, number 6 was Amazing Spider-Man 14, which was the actual end of No, or did I get that backwards?
Dan Slott book sucks. All right.
14 was the epilogue. 15 started the new story arc, which is still bad.
Yep, still bad.
Number 5 was Batman 39, which was amazing.
Oh, so good.
Oh, so good. Oh,
so good. Oh, the next one's coming.
Number 4 was Star Wars number 2. That was good, too.
I can't remember if I just read it or watched one of the movies. It's the same recycled garbage.
So number 3, you talking about Silk earlier. Number 3 is the one you should have read. Spider-Gwen number 1.
Spider-Gwen, legit.
Total.
Also
legit.
kind of a back... it walks the line of being a Batgirl. So in
Let
that
me help
same
you out,
vein.
man. It's a Spider-Man ripoff. It's a Spider-Man clone.
Barely that, though.
It's a lot like if like there was this universe that existed, right?
It's right there, the parallel.
and Gwen Stacy was bitten by a radioactive spider and
Let
then
me
gained Spider-Man
shut your mouth.
powers,
Shut-
and then had to go
shut-
through
shut
trials
your
and
mouth.
tribulation to understand that with great power comes great responsibility. It's a lot like Spider-Man.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
There you go. There you go.
All right, that's all you get. That's all he gets.
Go read this book.
No,
It was awesome.
it almost makes you feel that same cool alternate universe vibe as when you first got into Ultimate Spider-Man back in the day.
Let me give a little bit of spice to this because we always hear about, oh, it's a new book, it's great, it's an alternate universe, blah, blah, blah. I love that they made Peter the Lizard. I love that J. Jonah Jameson is still playing his same role. I mean, it's awesome. You get these little bits and pieces of, that's an interesting direction to go with that. Now, it might be because I wasn't there when Ultimate Spider jumped into existence or the Ultimate Universe and all that stuff. And so for this is genuinely refreshing to me to see this kind of thing with these quirky little reimaginings. And the soundtrack is awesome.
The soundtrack is amazing.
It's bitching.
All right, continuing on. Number 2 was Darth Vader number 1.
You don't say.
Yeah, good stuff. And now number 1 comic. This one I'm going to have a little bit of a anger about.
Okay.
The number 1 comic sold last month, individual issue wise, was Orphan Black number 1, put out by IDW.
Okay,
What?
so the only reason
No.
that happened...
Wait, no,
Yeah.
you call me tits. What?
Yeah, Orphan Black.
Have you
number
seen the
1.
show?
The TV show.
Has
Got
a comic.
comic book. IDW put it out.
If any show needs a comic book, it's that one. There's a lot
okay.
of extra story stuff that can
Time
be put
out.
in
This
it.
is a licensed comic book.
Correct.
Yeah.
It is not technically an original story. I mean, I assume it has some sort of creative direction from the show creators.
Do you want to know the reason why this is number 1? The only reason this is number 1. It was in the Loot Crate.
Loot Crate.
Oh, so they bought their numbers.
No. Yes. No.
No,
I don't
that's-
know.
that's-
Yeah, they courted Loot Crate enough to be able to
Nobody
say, throw this
made the
book in
decision
there.
to buy that book on its own merits.
Right.
Well, I'll
people
be
were.
honest with you. I almost did, not once but twice. Because here's the other thing: when we got those books in, I think we had 6 to 10 of them, but there were multiple variant covers. Lots of
Yeah,
variant covers.
it
for
had
number
like
one.
I don't know how many covers. I didn't
H?
even order them all.
Covers A through H or something
Something
like
like
that.
that. It was a ridiculous amount of covers. I didn't even. The problem was when I ordered it, I had no clue it was going to be in the Loot Crate, so I didn't order
Right.
that many because I don't know that many people that watch the show. It's a cool show, but not that
Right.
many people watch it. And IDW doesn't sell.
Have you
many
ever seen it,
books.
Alex?
I see the trailer or the commercials, and that seems to be all I need because everything's in the commercials. Dude, I'm busy. I'm watching iZombie.
Right?
This is, trust me, you and your wife would enjoy this way more than iZombie. That's my watching partner is Amanda, my wife. That's the show that we absolutely.
That's also my watching partner, Amanda, your wife. I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Bazinga.
Whoa, did you say Bazinga?
I did.
Dude, that's nerdophobic.
Yeah, I'm about
That
to
comes
go over
from-
there and
that comes from a-
slap you.
That comes from a stereotype show that paints us in a bad light.
Yeah.
And no, it says no matter how nerdy we are, we're all going to sleep with dumb blondes. It happens. I can't have that out in a show. That's a secret. That's a
think-
trade secret.
I might be the only one with a blonde wife here. You guys calm down. Let's dial it back a notch.
Whoa. I mean,
Help me out here.
I love my wife.
oh, Stikes, where's my wedding ring?
I don't know. Mine's here.
Yeah, mine's right here. Well, I don't know where yours is.
Was it in Blackest Day and Darkest Night?
Go give me a Green Lantern ring. Because I'm going to need some willpower sleeping on the couch.
Wow.
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 Somebody else's couch because I got kicked out.
This isn't getting better.
Yeah,
No.
it's getting better.
Oh my God, I'm digging myself a hole.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have fun later.
So
No,
where
I'm
were
not.
we? There was-
So I did have a problem with this. I think it's kind of crappy that because of the Loot Crate buys, this gets billed as number one. That's just
Well, this happened
standing
with
at
Rocket
Hogwarts.
Raccoon number 1 also, right?
Yeah,
Yes, it
but
did.
Rocky Raccoon has some
And
buzz at
probably with
least.
Star Wars.
But Rocket Raccoon still sold more copies than Orphan Black did, even though it was in Loot Crate.
Well, I don't know, man. I think the show's worth it. I haven't actually read the book. I thought about picking it up twice, and then I was super happy that I didn't whenever it did show up in the Loot Crate. We need to start looking at that and find out what the next books are, by the way. But, so, I try it out, man. Don't hate it too much. But, I mean, I guess...
I'm not hating the book. I hope it's a fantastic book.
It's just that
that's
trend
great.
of people
that
buying
trend
that
of being
number.
in the Loot Crate kind of irritates me.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's coming, though. There's going to be...
Just
I mean,
saying.
because there's lots of different alternative nerd loots out there.
I'm going to go ahead and say you have the Loot Crate and you get a comic book in it and it's a number 1 and it's a good jumping on point. It's
We
with a
should-
familiar title. No. If it's with a familiar title, it's okay if it's going to get somebody into reading comic books for the first time
Yeah,
who
there you
normally
go.
wouldn't have. So stop y'all's complaining, even though this one's a bit weird.
Yeah.
You know, we should jump on that Loot Crate bandwagon. They do a thing where you can talk about, hey, join us and follow our link at Trade Paper Hacks, and then we get money. We should do that.
Let's not give away all of our trade secrets.
That's just
We
like
are
one.
being recorded. Okay? We
Okay.
got cameras and microphones.
Once again, get the microphone out of your mouth.
Microphones.
So,
Nom 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 nom.
on to other news besides numbers. You hurt Tech Booth. Like there's physical pain going on over there.
Now I know how to get him to shut up.
Speak directly into the microphone. So, other news.
Yeah, something.
So, not that long ago, we did like half a show dedicated to the New 52 disappearing because the New 52 is going away.
Bye bye.
Marvel is doing a
Goodbye, New 52. It was so long and good to see you. Sorry.
No, good
Are
stuff.
you done?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, write that out.
Yeah, Elton John intro.
Anyway, so
Anyway,
Keep going.
Marvel is doing not a reboot. We talked about this earlier.
I had a hard time
Hashtag
explaining
not a
this to
reboot.
somebody in the store today. They're
That-
like, I heard that there was going to be a reboot.
It's not a reboot. It's a jumping on point, and it's the continuation of a story they're doing called Secret Wars, which is continuation of what's been going on for like 2 years. Am I boring you?
No, I'm
sorry. I'll pick up
sleepy.
this pace. A continuation of what's been going on in Avengers and New Avengers, where the universes are clashing together. So when that happens, the Marvel Universe that we know is going away. There will be a new Marvel Universe come out at the end of it, but there's not any history change.
What?
It's not a reboot. The history's not changing. It's still there. There's this incursion happening where universes clash together and we're getting one
Where they're
universe.
picking their favorite characters out of all of the history.
So is it
and-
supposed to be just
and
a singular universe? There are no other...
That is apparently going to be it. It's going to be one universe consisting of lots of other,
Is that
other
Infinite
things.
Crisis that did that?
Yes.
I've forgotten all my crises.
It was that or Crisis on Multiple Earths, one of the two.
That one makes more sense.
Yeah.
Ah, crap. Somebody proof check us in the herd.
I'm going to try and text some booths. What do you want to know?
Go Booth and Tekken.
Which DC story is this ripping off?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so they announced that there will be 33 series ending from Marvel. So the quick list here, let me run through this right quick. That is getting the axe come June is all new Captain Marvel or Captain America, all new Ghost Rider, all new X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing X-Men, Angela, Avengers World.
This is a
Yes.
ton of titles.
This is a ton of titles.
We already got a text message from Blake saying it is actually Secret Wars seems pretty much directly related to Crisis on Infinite Earths and Infinite Crisis. So we were by both of them.
Both right.
Yeah. It's amazing how we're not even a live show. We got a text message
how the
about this.
hell did that happen?
That's
Amazing.
awesome. Wow, good job,
All right,
guys.
go through your list again.
So we got the Avengers books, Captain Marvel, Cyclops, Deadpool. Deadpool's ending.
oh no, Chad!
That's why Chad hadn't returned our calls in the past few days.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get them now, guys. You know, a Deadpool fan's mourning period is something like 8 to 9 years.
It's true.
Yeah, but
They have to wait for the humor to cycle around, like with the next decade,
So
to
it
make
can
it
be
relevant
funny
again.
again, yeah.
yes.
Elektra, Fantastic Four, we all knew that was ending anyway.
Wait, time out. There was an Electra book.
Yes.
And that's a weird statement.
What do you mean that's a weird statement?
I didn't know there was an Electra
No,
book.
I kind of like you. As soon as you said it, I'm like, of course there is. But then I'm like, I don't remember what the last few covers look like. Usually, at least see them like they're in your in your
Yeah,
mind.
sucks to be Electra.
Guardians 3000 and Guardians of the Galaxy, Hulk, Inhuman, Iron Fist, Legendary Star-Lord, Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Well, that's because you're going to make a new title with him. I'm hopeful
Right.
for that.
Yeah,
gonna
that
kill-
character's sticking around. They're not getting rid of Miles
Yeah,
Morales.
so he's going to be the only Spider-Man after Secret Wars and Battle World.
No, he's not.
Watch it. Watch it happen. And then, with any luck, they will kill Dan Slott.
Yay!
heard
That
you
sounds
say-
really messed up, actually. We don't, dude. I don't like your books. I don't
But
want
don't
you to
go
die.
die. That's
No.
not cool.
Jesus
no.
Christ,
Just
Tech
stop
Booth.
writing.
Come on, man.
Maybe they'll just
Listen, there's a Marvel Universe somewhere where all the writers are in the Marvel Universe. Okay, so that's going to disappear. So technically, I'm not wrong.
All right, shut up. Continue.
New Avengers, Nightcrawler, Nova, Rocket Raccoon, Secret Avengers, Spider-Man and the X-Men, which is garbage, Spider-Man 2099, Storm, Superior Iron Man, Thor, Uncanny, X-Men's, Wolverines, and X-Men. All getting the axe, all going away.
When are they going to realize that you can't just cancel books and put out new number ones in a month?
Watch, they're
You
going to do it.
can. They've been doing
Actually,
it.
it's going to take longer than a month because Secret Wars is going to run for a couple months, I think.
Which is okay,
But and there's a lot of they're doing. You remember that teaser when they had the all new Marvel and they were teasing Infinity Gauntlet and all that stuff back months ago? They're actually putting out books that are taking the characters from that universe and those stories told, and how they're dealing with this the universe is coming to crashing together. So there's an Infinity Gauntlet book. There's an Old Man Logan book, which I'm excited about. There's a book where every MODOK and all the universes come together and work together.
What?
Ugh.
There's
That's
an
gonna be
interdimensional.
MODOK.
It's
Oh my
like
God.
it's like
Fest.
MODOK verse.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's gonna be legit.
There's going to
and better than anything Dan Slott put out.
there's going to be a Spider-Verse book.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's got to be.
There's got to be.
They better bring back that punk rock.
There's
fighting.
like a all the Thors coming
ooh,
together.
that's how we get Spider-Gwen in the 616.
Yep.
Yep, it's
Bring
gonna
her
happen.
in.
Gonna happen.
Well, they're not even going to call
But
it
yeah,
616 after
but
that,
that's
are
the
they?
thing.
It's called
Looking,
one.
Prime.
but looking at the things that weren't canceled, the new Howard the Duck book that just started isn't getting canceled. Ant-Man's not on that list. Spider-Gwen's not on that list. Silk's not on that list. So a bunch of these new books starting are not on that list. So they may continue on in some form.
May evolve into it. Who
Which is
knows?
good because Ant-Man's been awesome. And you know what, guys? Howard the Duck was a good book.
Was it
Oh,
really?
I wanted to
I
get
haven't
it.
read it yet.
We sold out super quick. It was good.
Have you seen that
I
pop
liked it.
vinyl we got in?
Yes.
I almost
want
bought
that.
it today. I saw it. It was like, no, don't start.
But yeah, the thing you were saying, we're going to get a ton of new number ones at some point from Marvel.
And they're gonna sell like hotcakes because we're all idiots.
But it's going to be called the new Marvel. This is the Marvel world moving forward.
Instead of Marvel Now. New Marvel.
It's what it says. You know how they
Instead of Marvel now, it's now Marvel.
Oh.
Marvel.
Oh.
Yeah, we had a limited graphic design budget and we just shifted it upwards in paint.
I was telling you earlier that I had a difficult time explaining the not reboot convergence thing, right?
Right.
Without, I didn't want to use the word convergence. I'm like, wait, isn't DC doing that? Oh God, how do I explain?
Yeah.
But then there was another guy that came in and was like, hey man, I heard they were doing another Secret Wars. So it's generating buzz from people who used to collect and are coming back into it.
Yeah,
with
because in
just
the
this
80s, the
concept.
first Secret Wars was a big deal.
Yeah.
That's where, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Spider-Man has a black suit. Where did
Yep.
that come from? And then Secret Wars comes out and everybody finds out it was an alien. You know, all this
right.
all this stuff was going on. And Secret Wars was a really good book. Secret Wars 2 was not.
Those Secret Wars made no sense why it was called a Secret Wars.
because everyone seemed to know all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
because we were
that.
reading this book.
Yeah. Stupid Nick Fury storyline.
But yeah, no, so
Again,
yeah, it was a Nick Fury storyline. It was
Yep.
it was not good. It was fine, I guess.
It made, what was this recent one with the eyeball?
Original Sin.
It made Original Sin look good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I kind of liked Original Sin.
I thought it was okay.
All right.
Let's put it this way. I was
moving
glad that I
on,
waited
let's
until
go,
it was
come on.
completed to read it.
Let's keep going.
Where are we going?
What are we doing? I just wanted to bitch about Marvel canceling a bunch of
I'm
series.
glad. Okay, so there's some stuff that's coming out of it. Spider-Man is getting canceled.
Which hopefully
ASM?
Dance
ASM is getting canceled.
Amazing
Dan
Spider-Man's
Slott has
done.
work, trust me.
Oh,
Because
hopefully
he
we'll be writing
announced
that.
he announced there is Renew Your Vows Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's right.
And is Peter, Mary Jane are married with a child.
Mayday?
I assume it's a young girl.
It's yeah.
Okay.
It's a young girl, and the thing is that while as lovely as that is, Dan Slott is still writing the book. And nobody is I know, guys, nobody is happy about
Okay,
it. Guys,
everybody calm down. It's fine.
chill out. I mean, we always have the old stuff to read, so
Yeah, so, but I find this interesting. All this stuff is ending, but it's all your big titles. There's going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy come out of this. Duh.
oh yeah.
There's
All
going
your
to be
majors to Iron Man.
Yeah, there's going to be an Iron Man. There's going to be a Thor. There's going to be
So don't fret.
Avengers. All this stuff's going to come back.
Yeah.
Little different. Some new twists put on things. You know, you're going to be adding things together. So don't worry. Marvel's not going anywhere, guys.
Now, Dan Slott, as much as I don't like the guy, he's actually kind of hilarious on Twitter.
Yeah, he really is.
Just throwing that out there.
I don't want to get on his bad side.
I mean, he's a funny guy.
Bet we're going to be there if he ever listens to this.
He put it really well. Because so in the main promotional image, you see Peter, Mary Jane, and the child that he has together. And Dan Slott messages Adam Kubert and says, "Can you believe it? Nobody suspects that we're putting Doc Ock's brain in the baby."
Oh, Lord.
That's actually kind of funny.
I would read that.
No, whatever.
I would.
All right.
At least an issue.
He's a total idiot now, but at least he's owning up to it. He realizes when he's ridiculous. Okay,
Cool.
so that's really
what I got.
That's really it. How much time do we have left, Tech Booth?
We've got about 5 minutes in show if you like.
Okay, so
Can I do something right quick? This is something a request from my wife.
oh snap!
Yeah, she just wants me to give a shout out to her because this coming weekend she's part of an all women's chorus.
Cool.
For the Sweet Adelines International, they sing Barbershop. They have their regional competition this weekend, and I just want to say Texas Harmony, good luck out there.
Yeah, good
My
luck,
wife
guys.
is going to knock it out of the park. I know that. So just give a quick shout out to them, and they promised to listen if I gave them a shout out. So, yeah, more listeners.
Yeah, we're up to 5 now.
Yeah,
Well, it's a quartet, so that's an additional 4.
Yeah, we're
actually, it's a
at 9.
chorus of like 30-something women.
That's not much of a quartet.
Chorus.
Oh, chorus.
Yeah, they sing Barbershop, but it's a chorus.
Sweet.
Okay,
Plus 30.
plus 30.
Yeah.
For one episode. Go, guys.
go. Okay, so Tech Booth, you were out promoting the show this last week.
Yeah, I did a lot of traveling over the last since March 6th or 7th. It started my traveling thing. I went down to Houston with Band Nerds. I came back up here. We did AllCon, and prior to that, I had to drive up to Oklahoma, pick up Steve, come back down here, and then of course drive back up to Oklahoma. On the way back, since I had those super fancy business cards, I basically anybody that looked like they might be considering reading words with pictures attached to them. I was like, "Hey, man, you like comic books?" It was kind of like an awkward, like, "Hey, bro,
Do you like comic books?
Check this
I got
stuff
what
out,
you
man.
need, buddy.
Nobody else has got these books right here. This is only me.
Hey, what you reading?
I understood that reference.
Yeah.
So, so I handed that off to a couple of guys, and there was a guy in Bowie, Texas, about an hour and a half
Bowie, Texas.
north of here, right?
Yeah.
I go in, I buy like a drink or something, and I'm chatting him up, and he's a dude, he's in a hoodie, and he's got some tattoos. I'm like, "Hey, man, you like comics and movies and stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, like who doesn't?" I'm like, "Sweet," and I bring out my card and I hand it to him. I'm like, "Check it out. I do a podcast out of Dallas. It's called Trade Paper Hacks." And he takes it, and in one smooth motion, takes the card, and with his other hand whips out a card. And he's like, "I'm in a band up there in Dallas." I'm like, "No way, dude! I record bands in Dallas." So it's almost
An exchange back and forth of cards. Oh,
But he
CD bar deals.
he chimed in
CD
and
bar
shouted
deals.
out to us on Facebook. And here's the funny thing: because of that music circle or whatever, we were already Facebook friends. And he introduced himself as Fig. I'm like, "There's no way. There's two people called Fig, right?" But I get home and there it is. He's like, he shared us out and stuff. So if you're listening, man, what's up?
Thank you.
thank you, Big Newton.
But I also, after that,
Oh, by the way, Bowie, Texas. I've never met anybody I like from Bowie, Texas. Just throwing that out.
there's always a first.
There's always a first.
So then I went down to South by Southwest, again following Band Nerds and whatnot, and it was really fun. It was a very different kind of an atmosphere. So if you
That's what Bowie, Texas does to him.
Got hillbilly
so
in my nose.
we had a lot of fun basically carrying the camera around on a monopod and walking down the. You broke him.
broke Mark.
Nice.
All right, camera on a monopod.
Camera on a monopod, pretty cool. Look for some footage at the end.
great.
Oh yeah, but there were actually cosplayers out there. So there was a guy in a Hulk suit. I assume it was a guy. I don't really know. It was kind of a poorly done Hulk suit. But he's on these two buckets, so he stood 10 feet above you, and there's a tiny dude in Wolverine, like you could buy at Target. And they were like taking money for pictures, but not even like not. So I saw these kids walk up to him, and they wanted to get a picture. And the chick with that was their handler or whatever is like, "Would you like to leave a tip, perhaps before the picture's taken?" And as soon as I heard that, I was like, "And we're out of here." So I turned and left. And then I ran into a guy in a Darth Vader suit who needed a handler, didn't have one because that guy must have had maybe 10 degrees of visual field in front of him with that mask on. But I got a picture of him doing the Force choke. It was pretty awesome.
Did you tip him?
No. I helped him out when other people almost walked into him a few times. I got some.
I don't know how many times I'm going to play that
I helped
drop
that
tonight.
out. And then I also met a Wookiee out there, which was cool because he had
do a Wookiee noise.
a better beard than I can't either right now.
You just look like you had a stroke. Oh my God, technically was choking.
Anyway, enough of that.
Stop cussing. Like, we haven't had any cussing the entire episode
Hey, man, it's my
until
work,
you
bro.
got to
it's
it.
my work, bro. My world. You.
Yeah, Alex.
Okay. And that's our show for tonight.
Yay!
Yay! We made it through another one. We made it through episode 21.
Wow,
We are old enough to drink.
Yeah!
Yeah! Booze it up. This is vodka.
All right.
All right.
If you slurp vodka like that, there's something wrong with your life.
Okay,
You need Jesus.
so next week,
Next week, what? Let
What
him
are
know.
we doing next week?
I know I usually tease Deadpool right here.
Right. Yeah.
We're not teasing Deadpool because, well, Chad might be in a coma of sadness somewhere.
Yeah, especially after he listens to this one and finds out Deadpool's getting canceled.
Next week is, and the guys have convinced me to do this. This is another one of those situations when they push me outside of my comfort zone.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
What did we do?
Oh, you remember? We talked
remember.
about this. You remember?
You won't say.
Remember?
The guys want to do a WrestleMania recap show next week.
Yeah.
I'm not super into it. Mark really is. And I'm going to see if, and this is a shout out to my buddy Ricky, if I can get Ricky on the show. We're going to see if we can't do that.
Bring it on. I want to have a little contest, see who knows more wrestling.
I can't wait to be the guy that knows absolutely nothing.
This guy doesn't either, so I want to go grab a whole bunch of Hulkmania drops and hopefully try to
Oh,
contribute.
Lord.
Or
If you can get me as many brothers as you can.
yeah, brother.
Yeah, as many different Hulk Hogan iterations of the word brother. And
It's
maybe
going to
one
be the
or
most
two.
epic show ever.
And mix it with some Macho Man.
Oh, yeah!
That's going to be next week. And
I can't wait for next week now.
Right? Yeah.
And so we're going to try to get a guest on named Ricky. I want to get him on because if we talk
I'm
wrestling,
going to throw down the challenge. Ricky, you better be here. I'm going to cut a promo on you right now. You better be here.
Yeah!
wow,
Did
your
you
white
know-
trash just fell out all over that microphone.
No, dude, his 100% professional wrestling just fell out of the
Wrestling?
microphone. Yep.
Okay, so once again, we are recording live from Generation X Comics and Game Studios over here in Bedford, Texas.
Southeast corner of Harwood and 121.
Currently still located next to Old Fake Meat Taco Bell. Need to thank Tech Booth, Jason Dyer himself. Say goodbye, Tech Booth.
Goodbye, Tech Booth.
There you go.
You tripped him up with that one. You threw a new curveball at him with
I
that.
like that. All right. So, where can you find us? Social networks is the best way to get a hold of us.
We're social.
We are
We're
on
networked.
Facebook, facebook.com/trade paper hacks. We are also on YouTube now, which is a big deal. We don't actually have an official URL. You can find it on Facebook and find the links there, or just actually search for us on the YouTubes.
And if it's your first time watching us, subscribe to us. It should be over here
Please.
somewhere.
Yep.
And follow us. We're awesome.
Yeah, we are. You can hit us up on Twitter at Trade Paper Hacks, Instagram at Trade Paper Hacks, Tumblr at which is just Trade Paper Hacks. That's Tumblr.
With Tumblr.
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 Do you Tumblr much?
This is a show. Or you could do the old-fashioned thing and bitch at us on email, over an email at tradepaperhacks@gmail.com. And that's the show for tonight. So We need to thank you for listening and tolerating all of our intolerance when it came to Batgirl.
Yes, yeah, good choice by DC and the artist, but it's still a piece of artwork.
It is, and at the end of the day, it's just art and consumerism and money being made by somebody. Don't freak out too much, and look forward to Marvel copying DC by canceling a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
In the meantime, support your local comic shop.
Go read a comic book.
Try not to look like a dork when you do it.